Gold, we start with the daily chart. We want to analyze the chart for the next week. Okay, if you refer back to my last video analysis last week, when we have this correction, we mentioned based on what we have this option, we are more interested in the down move. That's why we're looking for this correction. And we mentioned if we get the sell setup, we are more interested. And we want the price at least to come to this low. And now the thing is how long we will be within this correction, we are not sure. And for the next week, we want to see if we get any sell setup, we are more interested. And beside that, is there is a possibility the price from here can reverse? Yes. Okay, it doesn't mean we have to get the down move, but if we get, we are more interested. That's why next week we want to see how we can trade within this, whether we can get the sell or buy, and we are more interested in the sell. In this case, we move to lower time frame. Okay, based on lower time frame, based on forward chart. Okay, if I refer back to my last video week analysis when the price was here, I mentioned that if we want to look for sell, let the price break the top before we look for sell. And as we can see, the price broke the top and reversed. Now the thing is whether this is the start of the down move, and if yes, that's mean when the market open, we see if we get a correction from here. Later we will explain based on lower time frame, then we look for sell. If not, we don't. And beside that, is there is a possibility the price from here can reverse? Yes, because in that case, maybe we will have a bigger correction before we get the down move. Okay, that's why if you want to look for sell, we need to get the trade set up. And how about if the price from here and break the top and continue to move higher? Yes, still there is a possibility, but based on forward chart, we cannot trade for buy unless the price break the top. We get this like the price can break this top, give us a correction before we look for buy. Okay, right now we don't have any trade setup. The only thing is we wait and see what we will get from the next week, whether we will get a bigger correction or we can get the correction from here. Anyway, we move to lower time frame, we see how we can trade it. Okay, but before I talk, we analyze, I mean, I want to mention about the trade for the last week. For the last week, when we have this move, and when we compare this one to this, if we refer to the MACD, we don't have much information. But if we refer back to this indicator, we could see the divergence and this one. That's why when the price drop, I mean, it start to drop, when we see this correction and if the price haven't broke the top, any sell from here, we will take it. Two opportunity, having entry below this or trade from here. Anyway, we had this trade and anyone is in this trade, when they see this, I mean, here, this move, then they should know there is a reversal, at least move their stop into the break even. Okay. Anyway, no, we want to see how we can trade for the next week. Okay, based on daily and forward chart, we mentioned if we get a down move, we are more interested because we are looking into the entire this correction. The only thing is whether this is the one is going to move down or we will have a bigger correction before we look for sell. Okay, but based on 1 hour chart, we don't have much information that show us the price is going to drop. That means if we want to look for sell next week when the market open, we need to get the correction here before we look for sell. But right now we don't have it. And how about if the price sharply drop from here, we are not going to sell it. That means we don't have any information that the price can drop. If we want to sell, we need to wait and get the correction. Okay. And beside that, we have this sharp move and we have this correction. Can we expect the buy? Yes. That means even the market open, if still we have this correction here, and if drop a bit more is better for us, we can look for buy, but buy will be short-term buy. Okay, that means as long as we move into the profit, we start to manage it. And may I put the here? If you get any buy, as long as the price comes to this top, we start to manage it because we are not sure whether the price can break the top or not. That's why if we get the buy set up, when the market open, we have this correction. If we get the buy setup, we take it. And when the price come to this level, we start to manage it. Because if they continue, it's good for us. Okay. And how about if we put our trend line here? Okay. I won't put the trend line here. I prefer to be here. And even if we get the buy setup, I mentioned when the price come to this level, we start to manage. So the another option is when the price take the trend line almost is in the same level, we start to manage it if we get the buy setup from here. But when the market open, we need to look into this, whether we have a correction I mean, when the market, it's the correction remain or not. Okay. And right beside that, we don't have any more information. The only thing says we need to wait when the market open. We need to see what we will get from here before we look for trade. And how about, can we put this one in relative to this for the next move down? Yes, maybe we have a bigger correction here. That's why I mentioned, if you want to trade, wait, we see for buy, we see whether we will have a this correction, and the only way having entry below above this, and then the price come to this level, sorry, this level, we start to manage. The another things is, maybe we get the this correction before the price can drop, and buying without, I mean, within this is not a good idea. And how about if this one start to drop a bit more, similar to what I draw here, then the trade, like what we mentioned, is not valid anymore. Anyway, we don't have any trade set up. The only thing is we need to wait and we see what we get from here, and especially here. Then from there, we make a decision. In this case, when the market open, we just follow the chart. If I see any changes or any trade setup, then I will share on YouTube. Thanks.